Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the Saltcast. We're back once again. I'm your host, Alex. I'm here with Bert and Sebastian, like always.
Welcome.
Yes, everybody, welcome back. This episode we are talking about X-Men again. X-Men 97. 2 more episodes have come out since the last time we talked about it, so we're going to go through that. We're going to go through a few news things, and yeah, that'll be like the majority of this episode, and we will see where the conversation takes us.
Hell yeah.
Who wants to start with news? Bert, I hear you have a new study you've been researching.
Nah, there's just a new penis study that dropped. Don't know much about it. Didn't really read too much into it. I saw that they were measuring men's penises again.
This is why we don't ever listen to Bert's news, because he says things like this.
He said it just dropped. That's dropped
man.
like an album.
Okay, moving on from Bert's disturbing internet searches.
Bert also got
Sebastian?
bodied again in school.
I didn't search
as always.
this. This got emailed to me.
They know what you're
What are
looking
you part
for.
what are you, like, a part of a penis
A
newsletter?
newsletter.
Oh my
Yeah.
gosh.
Breaking news: global average goes down, and Bert's celebrating.
Yeah, I'm like, finally.
Oh my gosh.
I'm average.
Oh Jesus. All right, let's get into some real news. Sebastian, what do you got?
I have a lot. Okay. One that I don't know much about, but I feel like it'll be shit. Apparently, they're making an Invincible video game.
I also heard about this, yeah.
Skybound
I
Games. I'm not sure what they even make. Maybe I would if I would have taken the time to look it up instead of barely trying. But apparently it exists. I'm not sure if it's looking good or not. I'm not sure how far it is. I'm guessing it's not far at all.
They
or I
made
would
the
have seen
Walking Dead
something.
games.
The good ones?
The Tall Tale ones. Like the episodic ones.
I see. Then
Oh yeah, they are a part of that.
is
They
it
made Before Your Eyes.
Before Your
Baldur's
Eyes
Gate
rocks.
2.
Apparently,
Baldur's Gate 2 never played.
apparently Robert Kirkman is also going to be like a creative decision maker on that video game
Pretty
also.
epic. I mean, he
Which
did
is a
write
good
Is it
sign.
going to be an episodic?
I don't know. I don't know
I'm not
anything
sure what type of a game it's going to be.
Because that could be cool. I like episodic games.
Me too. Speaking of episodic games, this isn't actually on my list, but you just reminded me. The Wolf Among Us 2 is coming out this year, I'm pretty sure. That's hype.
Oh, that
It's
is
been
hype.
so long. That game was like presumed canceled because of like the whole Telltale thing.
Mm-hmm.
So pretty exciting. That's my favorite Telltale game, so
Yeah, I've
That's
never played
hype.
those. I've only done the Walking Dead ones.
other news. This is actually kind of a question. Have you guys seen the Transformers 1 stuff?
Yeah, I was going to talk about that.
That is so disappointing to me because I've always thought, man, I want a Transformers movie about like Cybertron and the actual Transformers and stuff, but this one looks like shit.
I didn't think it looked bad.
It looks so stupid. They look like Tonka trucks.
It's animated. It's not live action.
Yeah, but they still could look cool even if they're animated. They don't have to
They
look
look-
like idiots.
They look like the classic Transformers. What do you mean?
I do not like how they look.
The style is like the classic Transformer style.
I mean, the idea, exciting. I've always thought that was a movie I would want to see, but does not look very interesting.
Is it because they look
visually.
like the cartoon versus the Michael Bay ones?
Not even that. They just look like baby toys.
I don't know. That's what they originally looked like.
That is what they looked like originally.
I'm not a fan. Have you
I
guys
think it
not
looks
seen
interesting.
the older animated Transformers show? Those look
Not in a
cool.
long time. I haven't.
Those guys look
Saw
sick.
clips, but never sat down and watched it.
I think
But,
that movie might be good. I think
I
it
mean-
could be cool.
Yeah, I like the idea. I'm just saying I don't like how they look. That has nothing to do with it being good or not.
I like that Megatron and Optimus are kind of like friends. I think that's a cool little tweak of the relationship to kind of explore.
Yeah, plus no humans, probably. Most likely.
Yeah, probably not. The Transformers lore is pretty deep. There's a lot of stuff that goes into it.
Yeah, I don't know much about it, to be honest.
Could be potentially something really cool. We'll see how serious they actually take it, though. It doesn't seem like it's going to be too serious. But I'm down for it. I think it's going to be cool. I'm going to watch it.
What about the Danny Phantom movie?
I didn't see that.
That's a movie?
Not yet. It's gonna be.
Gonna be a movie?
Yeah.
I didn't hear anything about this.
Apparently they're looking for a Danny Phantom, like someone to be him. And right now their top pick is Tom Holland.
I don't even think that makes sense.
Nothing he plays makes sense except Spider-Man. Dude was Nathan Drake.
I don't know.
That's like, for me, that is still like one of the top tier worst casting things I've ever seen is him as Nathan Drake.
Yeah.
A Danny Phantom movie is so wild, though. That's like so just strange.
Yeah, I don't really think there's an audience for that anymore.
I think there is, but not big enough for a movie. Maybe a show it could have been.
It's like super
Yeah,
niche.
I feel like it would need a softer reboot.
Yeah,
before a
like if
movie
they
comes
brought the
out.
show back, that would be cool, but a movie seems kind of strange.
Yeah, that seems pretty niche. I don't know. And especially because like I haven't even heard about it until just now. So, yeah.
All right, now to more gaming things. I have a couple gaming things. Number one, have you guys ever played Shell Shock Live? It's an old game,
Yes.
but it's fire.
No.
That game rocks.
I haven't.
They're coming out with a new game though, and that's surprising to me. I just saw, I was actually playing Shell Shock like a few days ago because I play it on the deck now, and because it's like a fun short like match type game, you know.
Yeah.
So that game came out in like 2014 or maybe even earlier in early access. I can't remember. So it's been a long time since they made a game. So that's kind of exciting to see that they're making it in the same Shell Shock universe.
Is it the same type of game?
It looks like it's not turn-based. It's like a tank game still, but not turn-based. So maybe it'll be cool. I don't know. It's called Shell Shock Arena. Could be cool.
Yeah, I have no idea. I've never heard of that game.
Shell
I have
Shock.
to wait for more to come out.
Shell Shock's
to have
Shell
an
Shock
opinion.
is the kind of game you play while you're waiting to find a match in your other game. You know, like you
Wow.
launch up Halo and you're waiting to find a game, so you're like, I'll just get a Shell Shock game going on the side.
Never thought about it that way.
Shell Shock also, it was like a year ago now, maybe more recently though, kind of, came to mobile, which is pretty cool. You can play Shell Shock on mobile.
Have you played it?
No, because it's not cross progression.
Oh.
If they added cross progression, I probably would play it on mobile, honestly.
Yeah, I'm sure you
Anyways.
don't want to restart.
Yeah, I'm like level 85 or 87 or some shit like that. Next thing. I guess I should save that for last, but whatever. X-Men are going to Rocket League, which is kind of a weird one.
What, like
That is weird.
skins and stuff?
Yeah, like a an X-Men based season pass. And honestly, they'll probably end up in Fortnite soon too.
Yeah, I'm sure.
Yeah. The entirety of the MCU is pretty much in Fortnite.
True.
Yeah,
Everything's in Fortnite, I feel like nowadays.
pretty
Yeah,
much.
pretty much.
And every major IP, basically.
Yeah, well, what can you do? This one, Bert, you're gonna be like, no way.
Dazzle me.
This was 3 days ago. This is fresh news. Maybe 4 days ago, actually. But either way, and as trustworthy as it can be, an IGN supposed
Oh boy.
confirmation that Life is Strange 3
Oh,
is
I saw
coming
this.
out soon.
Yes.
No date, but they said soon.
I'm excited.
And
I love those games.
more news following Max Caulfield.
That's even better.
That is better because I don't know what you think, but I didn't hate it, but I did not like Life is Strange 2. I played through the whole thing and I was enjoying it enough while I was playing it, but when I finished I was like, that was not nearly as good as the first one.
Yeah, I had the exact same feeling.
And then New Colors, or it's called New Colors, something Colors. I think it is.
I don't think
New
I
Colors.
finished New Colors. I think I'm about halfway through on that.
That one didn't even catch me to lock me in. So I'm hoping that now that they're going back to the OG character, that it pops off again. Although
because Before the Storm is really good.
Before the Storm is my favorite one, and people are like, which is wild, I guess, because it's basically a DLC. It's way shorter. But Chloe and Max, those are the characters I care about.
Well, because in the first game, we were learning about what was her name? Rachel?
Yes. Well, we were searching for Rachel.
Yeah, we were searching for Rachel, and I'm like, fuck, I want to know more about this girl and how she ended up in this situation and stuff.
True.
So then we got Before the Storm, and we got to see Chloe meeting Rachel, and then even in Life is Strange, during when we're playing as Max, we were able to surmise that Chloe and Rachel had a history together, and it was this would be a cool thing to see.
Also, my boy Warren was in Life is Strange 1.
Yes,
guy's an OG.
Oh man. And then the music, I love the music in those games.
I actually think all of them pop off
visuals.
with music and visuals. All of them pop off with music and visuals, but the characters themselves, one and Before the Storm, are the ones where I was like, I love these characters.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not sure if there's an unpopular opinion or not. I feel like it's
my girl Katie.
I feel like it's not
I liked Katie.
An unpopular opinion. It was Kate.
Kate.
But I prefer the segments of Life is Strange without the supernatural stuff. When they're just living their normal school life and they're not, lifting trucks with magic powers or time traveling.
Yeah, I enjoyed. I mean, that's cool. And it definitely helped interest me, but as I went on in the games, I got more invested in the mystery aspect.
Yeah, I loved the first part of Life is Strange 2, where you're just in your house and living life. And when it switched to being on the run, I was like, dang, I wanted that to last the whole episode at least.
Yeah. You were planning on going to a party that night.
Yeah,
with your friends.
So I'm very excited. I wonder where it would take place, because Life is Strange 1 can have two very different endings. So I wonder if it's a sequel or if it's maybe it's Max when she's not in Arcadia Bay, during that time period.
Do you think they could do a Walking Dead sort of thing where it's depending on if they find a save file for your previous game?
I kind of hope I hope so, and also don't hope so, because my save file got corrupted. So I'm gonna have to play that game again. In that case,
they would. I feel like in The Walking Dead they made
I think they let you select an ending if you don't have a save file.
They go back and select. They make you select all the important decisions.
Yeah,
that would matter.
That would be cool. I would really like that, but I don't expect
that would be cool.
I think most likely it will be either a prequel or way later and not in Arcadia Bay.
I don't really see how they could do a prequel.
They could do Max when she's not in Arcadia Bay, when she goes to wherever she went. I forgot, but she leaves town for a few years.
Yeah, but I don't feel like that would follow any of the main story.
The main story is kind of wrapped up, though.
Yeah, but they can talk about the destruction of Arcadia Bay.
They could. Or not. Maybe it didn't get destroyed.
Yeah, depending on which way you pick.
Well, either way...
wasn't the other option? Never mind.
Yeah, you don't want me to
remember. Say? Yeah, you do
it. Chloe dies.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Okay. Yeah, I wonder how they would do that.
That's why I'm
two very different games.
That's two different games. That's why I'm I don't know if it'll be after.
What if that's just the ultimate replayability?
That would be wild. So I'm really excited for that, because while I have liked the continuations, none of them, I would consider Life is Strange 1 as a top tier video game, whereas the other ones, they're good-ish.
Yeah. Life is Strange 1 sticks out in my head a lot more than the other ones.
Yeah, when I think of Life is Strange, I think of Life is Strange 1. The other ones don't even come into my mind.
Mm-hmm. Well, Before the Storm comes in my mind. Life is Strange 1 and Before the Storm.
I kind of wrap those together, though.
Because their stories flow so, like,
yeah,
close together.
Life is Strange, though, awesome.
They are good games.
2 is my least favorite. Exciting stuff, though.
I need to finish True Colors.
Yeah, I need to as well, actually. Anyways, continuing on. I guess this also is game news. Baldur's Gate 4 is apparently in the works. Not by Larian anymore, which means it's going to be a huge disappointment to everyone who thinks it's going to be Baldur's Gate 3, 2, you know?
Yeah.
Because basically, Larian made like a god tier game, and then they're like, damn, do it again. And they're like, actually, we kind of want to make our own games now. So they're like, well, fuck it, we'll just ruin the IP. But they're like looking for someone to make Baldur's Gate 4 right now. They don't have anyone. They're looking for someone. That's going to be... There's like, even if it's okay, it's not like... Even if Larian did make Baldur's Gate 4, I don't think it would live up to Baldur's Gate 3.
As a studio, I don't like personally, I wouldn't want to try to make Baldur's Gate 4 after Baldur's Gate 3 because the expectations are going to be so high for that.
I mean, it's just the best reviewed game of all time in the history of ever.
And I feel like with the way I hear development is that it's going to be over, like, you know, you're going to be overworked. You're not going to have enough time to actually do it. It won't be a good product.
There's also a chance it just changes genres now that they're looking for a new developer.
That's true, too.
I feel like that's probably the most likely thing.
Yeah, so it's going to be so different, most likely. So, I mean, it'll be interesting to see what happens, but I wouldn't put any, like, oh my god, I'm so excited for another Baldur's Gate, because who knows?
Definitely not pre-ordering it.
Yeah. No, I will look into it as it comes out, but I doubt. I feel like at best it's going to be like 6, 7 territory.
Yeah. I mean, it's not going to live up to 3. Not even close. That's just unfair of it. It's just unfair to even think.
Like I said, I think even if Larian made it, it wouldn't live up to 3, you know?
Yeah.
Maybe it would be like just more 3, you know, like the same level of quality as 3 and just more content, but I don't see how you like go above, you know?
Yeah.
Bert, this one might pop off to you. I don't know. I heard that Overwatch has started banning people for swearing in game.
Doesn't surprise me because I remember I used to see a thing where it was like voice chats may be monitored.
Yeah, apparently they've just recently banned a few thousand people that were swearing in voice chat.
Wonder if I got banned. Should check. But
let me check.
That I haven't played that game in so long. I find that it's such an unenjoyable game.
I never played 2, but it's basically 1, so
it died off hard.
Yeah, I mean, I played Overwatch 1 for like 2 years, maybe a little more than 2 years, and I did like it for the first year and a half, and then I just played it because other people played it, and then by the end of it, I was like, I'm not having fun. Why do I keep launching this game?
Yeah, that's kind of the mentality I had, and it just became like the default game I'd go to when I would get on, and I wanted to just play a shooter. True. I was like, this isn't fun. Speaking
of disappointing games, guess which one is back again, boys? Halo is back in the news.
Oh no.
So they recently canceled their seasons, and apparently they've now added $100 plus microtransactions.
It's getting the Destiny treatment.
So the game is clearly dying.
What are the transactions get you?
Cosmetics, armor pieces, or armor sets, maybe.
It's $100 for like a piece of armor.
They're bundles, so it's the whole set.
For 4 pieces of armor?
I don't. It's wrists, shoulders, helmet.
That game's dead.
That game is dead. there's also a huge controversy outside of the microtransactions where, because I actually didn't know this. Tell me if you guys knew this. Apparently, Fortnite and some other games, but Fortnite, the main one, I think Roblox is the other one. Those are like the big two. But apparently, there's a common thing now where people make maps and game modes and stuff for Fortnite and Roblox, and they pay the creators. Right?
Yeah, that's been a thing for a while.
So people are like dog shitting on 343 because no dev made maps have come out in over a year. They just keep releasing Forge maps and don't pay anyone anything.
Yeah, that's kind of fucked up.
It is kind of messed
They've
up.
released one map dev made in the last couple years. Maybe a year and a half. So people are like, hey, you guys need to make some maps or pay your Forge people because you don't do anything.
They're not going to make anything.
They might make one map a year or some shit.
I don't know. I'd be surprised if they did that.
That game's on the way out though. They've already, like, if you've looked at new Xbox like marketing material, whenever Halo's on it, it no longer says Halo Infinite, it just says Halo on them now.
Yeah. It's probably better that way.
That game,
it's time to move past it.
I guess they figured since no one's playing anymore, it won't be that big a deal when we put $100 bundles in our store.
Yeah, because at this point, the only people who are playing are the loyal fan base that will spend $100 on it.
Tragic. A couple more gaming things. Fallout show. Everyone loved it. It was awesome. And they have done some corrections basically saying... They didn't say anything about New Vegas, but I think we'll still have to see in the next season how that goes. But they like kind of corrected their date thing on how Shady Sands was bombed before Fallout New Vegas, even though it was not clearly in Fallout New Vegas, but it didn't really make sense. But I think it's basically just, Todd Howard was like, it happened right after New Vegas, but I guess the date was just wrong in there, but he didn't want to say that exactly. He just said it happened right after New Vegas. So...
Yeah, I saw that too, which is fine.
Yeah, that's fine.
That will please everybody that was upset about it.
That's a good enough for me type of thing. The show was good, so I don't care if you wrote the wrong number.
Yeah.
Or if it was just confusing and whatever. So that's good. And then my only other main complaint about that show was seeing what happened in New Vegas, but that's more of a we'll have to see in season 2 kind of thing, which has been officially confirmed, which isn't really a surprise, to be honest.
Yeah, we all knew that was coming, but yeah, official now.
It was a good
I also saw they were asking Todd Howard about like other games, Starfield and Elder Scrolls getting shows, and he is like, probably not, which, good. Focus on one thing. I also think Fallout of their games is the best one to get a show. I think it has a wider appeal than Elder Scrolls.
I think Skyrim could be good, though.
I feel like Skyrim, people will try to compare it to Game
Elder
of Thrones.
Scrolls. It would be good, though. It would be cool.
It would be good, but I just feel like Fallout, like the whole post-apocalyptic thing, is more mainstream than like fantasy. So like it gets more of the normies.
Yeah, probably.
So either way, if they do end up doing something else, I'd like it to be after they finish Fallout. I don't want them to run at the same time. Last 3 things, but one of them I'm going to probably give to you because I'm pretty sure it's yours. Boruto is considering switching to a seasonal anime, which is very hype because that means no more filler.
That would be
so exciting because that show is dog shit because of the filler. So if like there's like 200 plus episodes, 250 maybe, between 250 and 300, and over half of it's filler. But like the canon material is so goddamn good. So like if they actually switch to seasonal, sure, like technically you're getting episodes slower, but at least they matter, the episodes you're getting.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, that's probably a better format for like that type of genre.
Yeah, because right now it comes out weekly. So, you know, if the freaking manga is not ahead enough, they just throw random shit on the wall and it almost always sucks.
Yeah.
So hopefully they go through with that. Last thing, sad news, boys. Apparently, the Xbox 360 marketplace is shutting down this year.
Oh man,
That's 2 console generations away.
Yeah, but
You
it
know what I
doesn't
bet?
feel like it. You know, it feels like I still feel like the 360 and PS3 era, also along with the DS, that's like peak era of gaming.
mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's up there.
That was my first generation of gaming.
That was
Really,
my second, technically.
it's definitely the first I
But
truly
that-
got into gaming.
That was my first one that I like
I'm
hardcore.
I'm honestly surprised that it's even still existed this long.
I'm also surprised at that, but it is still sad because, like, dang, the
End of an era.
360. That was the 360 is the only Xbox console that was beating PlayStations. Every
Yeah.
other
Mhm.
Xbox console has been so far behind.
Yeah.
There was
Yes.
this like $1.99 game I found there in the 360 store. It's like
It's
a knockoff
crazy,
Minecraft COD Zombies. It was pretty fun.
Do you guys remember Castle Miner Z?
Yes.
Yeah. Remember Total Miner?
Yes, Total Miner. I loved the 360.
Me
It
too.
was a fun console.
But
Some of my
Remember the
favorite
noise
games of all time
of
were
it
on the
turning on
360.
its flat screen.
Remember the
good-
Red Ring of Death?
Yeah.
I never had that, but I did have friends that had it.
What, did you have
I
a
had
white
it.
Xbox?
No, I had the black one.
It was way more common in the white ones.
Yeah, I had the white one and I got the Red Ring of Death. But I didn't know what it was, so I just let it run and nothing ever happened. But there was a red flashing ring for like weeks.
Like, that looks pretty
That's
cool.
funny.
I was like, I mean, it still works, so I just left it
Modded
alone.
Xbox.
And one time I was talking to my friend and he's like, you need to turn your Xbox off like right now. I was like, oh, okay.
Then you just got a new one the next day.
No, I still used that white one for a long time.
The good thing about Xbox, at least though, is at least compared to PlayStation, Xbox's backwards compatibility is pretty good for games. So like,
Yeah, they have
you can
so
play
much stuff
pretty
on there.
much every 360 game still.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Whether their servers are still up, that depends on the developer themselves. But as
Yeah.
far as like just being able to access the games, you can do most of that on the new Xbox.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's good at least. But it's kind of stinks if you have an Xbox 360. Can't use it anymore. Or at least
If
you
someone
can't
is still
officially
doing
use it.
You can still
Well,
use
if you
it.
wanted
You just
to-
can't buy or download games. So download all your
Yeah.
shit now.
So. Yeah. I don't know. It's weird to me.
To be fair, at least that was a gen where you mostly have discs. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
That's
Microsoft
true.
still put the games on the disc because I don't think they do that now. I think now the
discs just aren't big
just
enough sometimes. You know, like to
Well,
to give you 100+ gig disc would be way unprofitable for them.
they can give you 2 discs. They've done it before.
Yeah, but still, the
Red
size
Dead
of those.
Redemption 2 is a 2-disc install for PlayStation 4.
Yeah, it's an install, but I mean, it's just.
I'm saying,
like,
but I can offline. I can get a PlayStation, never connected to the internet, put in the 2 discs, install Red Dead, and play it.
that is
Versus
true.
Xbox, where if I put in the 1 disc, I can't get the game.
That's true. That's true. I don't see it happening. I don't think discs are coming back.
No, yeah. They're
No,
not.
but PlayStation still puts their games on the disc.
Well, they're first party games,
I'm pretty
And
sure
they're
all
like-
of them.
second party owned studios.
Yeah. The
I mean,
games that you would want.
Well, I
No,
mean,
I'm saying I'm pretty sure the
99% of
PlayStation-
indie games will never have a disc because it's just too expensive for them.
No, I'm saying that any PlayStation 5 game or any PlayStation game that has a disc, that is like the physical games on that disc.
Yeah, I don't know. Actually, maybe you're right.
PlayStation's the only one that does that still.
Probably not for long because they're barely gonna have. They were trying to get rid of the disc tray completely,
Yeah, I know. They're the last ones that do it though.
and they're
Maybe
gonna, it looks like they're
maybe
gonna be the first
Nintendo
one out
with their
because.
cartridges.
Oh yeah, Nintendo's are. You're right. With
the
their
Xbox
little-
has a disc tray.
Yeah, but theirs
the
are
disc
links to
isn't the actual
downloads.
game. It's just the license to own the game. It's the license for you to install it from their servers.
Oh, okay.
So you can't offline install it.
Yeah, so if they ever shut down the Xbox whatever series marketplace, you would not be able to do it anymore. But it seems like they're carrying it over because it's the same marketplace as Xbox One, so they're now like keeping their marketplace consistent, probably for that reason, and also for their backwards compatibility reason as well.
Yeah, and that's the other good thing. At least the Xbox One or whatever it is now is compatible or backwards compatible.
Yeah.
Also cool that you can just put the discs in of an old Xbox.
Yeah, I remember when that came out. I remember like a software update came out on my Xbox One, and it like added that like feature. And I
Wild
ran
that
home
that
from
was
school.
added with a software update.
Yeah, I know. I ran home from school and I put in my old 360 Minecraft disc, and it worked.
That's fire. All right, that wraps up my news. I have one more, but I'm pretty sure it's you. The big one, trailer of the last couple days. Pretty sure you got that on yours. So.
Yeah. Well, you already spoiled it, so.
Well, you can start talking about it.
Yeah, the Deadpool and Wolverine trailer dropped the other day. I think yesterday. Was it yesterday?
I think it was
As of us
Monday.
recording this. Regardless, that just dropped. It looked pretty cool. I liked pretty much everything that they showed. They showed a lot of stuff. It looks like most of the movie is going to take place on the Void World from Loki, which is kind of cool.
Guess I gotta finish that show.
Yeah, you can see what's it? You can see the big cloud monster Eliath in the background. You can see
I like the dead Ant-Man.
the dead
that was
Ant-Man
cool.
head. There was a lot of really cool things in that. There was a bunch of old X-Men villains from the original X-Men movies that were like around that head. If you looked closely,
I saw.
you could see all of them. Who else? I think there was a scene where Logan is talking to somebody like outside in the woods, and he's like, "I'm not a hero, kid," or something like that. I think that might be X-23, which that would be pretty cool if she's in it. I'd love to see her come back.
I also would like that, but she's got to be like when did Logan come out? 2018, and she was probably like 12, so she's got to be like 17 or some shit now. She's got to be way older.
Yeah, it would be perfect timing now.
That would be
She'd
kind of
be-
cool.
She'd be older, and she'd be more like her actual comic book self.
Be cool if they introduced her into MCU through this, and then we get an actual good character in MCU for the first time in since Shang-Chi.
Yeah. I think she would be super cool. And the actress that played her in Logan said that she would love to come back and play her, which I think I would like to see her return to.
Yeah, me too.
That would be
But
pretty
it's
sick.
not the same Logan, I thought. Or is it?
No, it's a different Logan.
Okay, that's what I thought. But I guess they could see that Logan still. He could play multiple Logans in the same movie.
No, they're not going to. I doubt that. They want
I
to
don't think
leave
they
that
would.
version of Logan as far away as possible to like
So they
Not,
just grab her? Or it's like a
undo
different
their
version
ending.
of her, I guess.
it would just be a different version, yeah.
Because that Logan died, I'm pretty sure, right?
Yeah,
Yeah,
he
he
died to a
died.
stump.
Yeah, maybe this is their initial attempt of getting us used to seeing dead characters again, but just their multiverse counterparts.
Well, I mean,
Well,
So then they can bring back Iron Man.
yeah, maybe, but Hugh Jackman, this is a one-off for him. He's definitely not staying.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I remember
I
him
don't-
saying that this was his last.
He also said that about Logan, so never say never.
Yeah, but then he had to be convinced. They're like, one last time, you got to be with Deadpool.
Yeah, I mean, it was mostly Ryan Reynolds that got that done.
Yeah, it was like more of a personal favor. I don't think he could pull that twice.
Yeah. But it
It
looks
looks so
awesome. I'm super hyped for it. I think it's going to be awesome.
Yeah,
It
I'm
has
actually so
been
excited.
years since I've seen a Marvel movie trailer, and I was like, holy shit, I'm so hyped. Like, even one that I loved, when I saw the Guardians of the Galaxy 3 trailer, I was like, looks decent, but I wasn't excited as much. Probably
Yeah.
Spider-Man No Way Home is the last time that I was like, this is going to be freaking hype. But no, even then,
I think
because
mine was Doctor Strange.
the trailer didn't even show like the hypest moment. So maybe Endgame, honestly.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, probably. But man, there was a lot. They showed a lot in that trailer. just like enough without like spoiling stuff, but got to see
Enough to
Wolverine
get you
with
excited
his
for sure.
yeah, got to see Wolverine with no sleeves. That was cool.
Yeah, I didn't think that would
Like
happen.
that.
I hope he puts the mask on one time.
Yeah, that would be cool if he does wear the mask once and the cowl. That would be nice. But man, the costumes look so good. They look great. The red
They
on
did look
Deadpool is really popping.
I like his wig.
Wolverine's costume looks awesome. It looks really good. What else is going on in that? There was something else. They're jumping into a Doctor Strange portal at one point at the end of the trailer, which that's kind of cool. I wonder where that's going to take them.
Yeah, it seems like it's going to be multiverse.
No shit.
Well, duh. The TVA is like the main focus.
Oh my god, Bert. Why do
Yeah.
you say things like that?
They're also from different
I don't know.
universes.
Literally a
I was
multiverse.
just saying that to imply that maybe that's how they get a crown town.
Oh my god.
I think
Ooh,
that-
looks like a multiverse movie. Oh my gosh.
I
Of
think
course
that,
it is.
Yeah, I mean, what can you do?
We're in the multiverse saga. That's literally the name of this era of the
Okay,
Marvel
I get the point.
Cinematic Universe.
I'm just hoping that it isn't as multiverse as some other things, because
It's going to be pretty big on the multiverse.
I freaking hate multiverse stuff. I cannot wait for it to be over. Like, it's cool for this specific reason, just because Deadpool and Wolverine. But, like, normally, the multiverse stuff just makes stuff worse.
Yeah. The whole like kind of plot, at least that I got from the trailer and the stuff that I've read, is like basically Wade's universe is falling apart and he needs Wolverine's help to kind of save it. I don't think that
Is
they're
what
going
it
to be
looks like.
successful though. And this Wolverine that they saved, one of the TVA agents says like this Wolverine like failed his universe and everybody died and he blames himself or it's all his fault or something like that, which is a lot very similar to the Old Man Logan storyline from the comics. So I wonder how much they're gonna pull from that. The giant Ant-Man head is already something from the Old Man Logan series. There's a big Ant-Man skeleton in like a wasteland in one of the panels of that comic. So I wonder if that's like just a one-off little reference or if they're gonna like lean more into that storyline, which would be pretty cool if they did, because Old Man Logan is like super what's the word? Not beloved, but a lot of people really like it. It has high praise. Yeah. But yeah, that's all I have really.
Well, I was reminded of one more thing that I just remembered. Fallout 4 is the best-selling game of the last 2 months now.
Yeah, I'm not surprised.
And then
Can I-
all of the Fallout games got huge population boosts. Fallout 4
That
and
doesn't
76,
surprise
I
me.
think, are in the top 10 most played games on Steam with 100,000 plus players.
You even got me to play New Vegas.
Yeah, that's pretty cool though. I love the Fallout games. I like the series. I want it to do good.
Here's the thing. I also love the Fallout games, but I'm worried this show might be setting people up for a disastrous disappointment, because now everyone has forgotten that the last 3 Bethesda games have been bad. And they're going to be like, can't wait for the next Bethesda game, and it's going to be the same shit. And everyone's going to be like, the fuck?
I mean, what's their next game? Isn't it going to be Elder Scrolls?
Yeah, but I mean, Fallout 76 was shit. That's like guaranteed everyone hated it. Starfield was shit, guaranteed everyone hated it. And at least at launch, Fallout 4 was underwhelming. I wouldn't say shit, but not like super well received. Like,
Some people liked Starfield.
The point is, they haven't had a universally loved game in over 15 years. Like, everyone loved Skyrim, Oblivion, Morrowind, Fallout 3, Fallout New Vegas. Those were all bangers back to back. They had like a super strong 10 years up to 2011, and then just continuous, with Fallout 4 being like a midpoint, but besides that being just okay. Just
Yeah.
major fails. And I think people have like forgotten that they've made shit games for 10 plus years. So
Nah, I don't think that like the real like people that consistently play their games think that. I think they're getting a lot of nostalgic players that haven't played a Bethesda game in a while. I don't think that necessarily will translate to people being disappointed. Like, I think everybody is pretty aware of where Bethesda is at, like, as far as like the quality of their games.
The same quality
I feel
as
like the
10
internet
years ago.
was very aware of them.
Yeah.
I'm just saying, man, like, hopefully this makes them realize people actually like our shit. Let's make it good again.
Yeah, hopefully.
But anyways, moving on.
All right. Are you guys ready to get into X-Men 97, those 2 episodes?
Sure.
Let's go.
All right, let's get started. Episode 6, I think it is. Holy crap, that episode was insane. What were your guys' initial thoughts?
I didn't believe you at first because I watched like 15 minutes and I was like, nothing is happening.
Let's start with the title first of the episode. Remember it. That's a cold title, especially after seeing the ending. Man, that episode, so much happened. So basically, it feels like there's a little bit of a time jump just because a lot of stuff is going on. But basically, Genosha is becoming a part of the UN, and it's being recognized as its own state. So that's like a huge, huge deal within like the X-Men mythos and all of that. And so Magneto and Rogue are going back there, and they ask Magneto to basically be like the leader of Genosha, like their political leader, their figurehead, which is a big deal.
President.
Because I mean, well, he's not like actually a president, but like the equivalent in a way. But man, that has like big stakes for like the X-Men universe in general. Like Genosha being recognized is huge for mutant kind and all of that stuff. So like there's stakes with that alone, and having Magneto as like the figurehead of a nation state is huge, especially because he's like considered a terrorist amongst like the general people.
Honestly, stupid ass move to pick him. Not because it's like, oh, we shouldn't trust him, but it's like, this is exactly how you get people to hate you. Like, why would you pick him?
Yeah, people will be like,
even if you believe you could trust him, like, this is exactly why people hate you, because you do shit that like makes it easy.
You have a terrorist as your leader, or an ex-terrorist. That will upset some people.
Yeah, I think that's kind of why they tried to get Rogue to join him and kind of be the other side of that coin, to give his position some legitimacy, having like an actual X-Men that's like recognized as like a good mutant, you know, and has been a hero.
Yeah, like his known enemy now working with him, watching him and stuff.
Yeah, so it adds like a level of accountability. But man, there's a lot of nuance to a lot of the political stuff that's going on in that episode too. There's a lot there to look at, which I liked. I liked all of that stuff. They were setting up some stuff, and then they just went freaking nuts.
Yeah, so the thing is, I actually disliked the first bit of the episode until after seeing the end. When you look back at it, you're like, okay, that actually makes this impact more. But like watching through it at first, I was like, this is kind of boring. But it like adds value in hindsight, I guess.
When I was watching it, guys probably won't believe me, but I was thinking the ending was probably going to happen. Like in the back of my head, I was like, if I was to like do that, I don't want to like directly say what it is, but I feel like that was the day to do it if you were going to do it.
I don't know about that, because really you should have done it earlier, because
I feel like that's, I don't know. Like if you're trying to cause the most fear and whatever and be the worst person you possibly can be, that would be the day of the most celebration. Rip that away from people.
Maybe, I don't know. Anyways,
if you're trying to be a terrorist, that's,
especially you're celebrating like the day they're being recognized.
Yeah, that's the opportunity for maximum impact too. The most eyes are on that are on Genosha at that time.
It's being streamed globally. Everyone's watching it. Like,
it's a major world event. Yeah, for sure. But yeah, let's get into what actually happened. So they have this big celebration and this party for Genosha becoming a part of the UN.
It's all
that's
deal.
Going on. Yeah, it's a big deal. There's news reporters and helicopters all over the place, filming and everything. It's being streamed all over the
parties
world.
in the street.
Yeah, we get introduced to a bunch of old characters that were in the show.
Nightcrawler comes back.
Yeah, Nightcrawler is back. I loved seeing him.
He had a pretty badass moment too later on.
Yeah, they do Nightcrawler some justice. He comes in right away and is badass like always, like he always should be. He sounds awesome too. He sounds just like how how he did in the original show. But yeah, we get introduced to them. We get introduced to a couple other mutants that they just kind of throw out there. Nothing. They don't have like any significant
Like Toad
role.
Boy.
Yeah, they're what's his
Frog.
name? No, it's not Frog.
Lizard? I don't know. What is he?
What the heck's his name?
He's got the round head. He
Yeah,
looks like
frick.
Caillou, but green.
No, Leech. Leech is his name.
Yeah, Caillou.
Whatever. But yeah.
Same
So
thing.
oh man, and then you get a little bit of the relationship that Magneto has with the Marauders, which is pretty cool. Those are the group of mutants that lived in the like sewer tunnels in New York. Which, if you watch like the original show, there's like a whole arc that involves them, and Magneto comes in and basically takes them under their wing and promises them that he's going to keep them safe. And they mention all of that stuff in the episode. And Leech looks at Magneto like a father figure in a way, like trusts him because he's always protected him, and he's stood up for them more than anybody else because they were kind of like, they weren't villains, but they were antagonists to the X-Men because they were causing problems in the sewers, and there's a bunch of stuff that happened with that. But it's actually one of the better arcs in the old show, which is cool to see them bring those characters back. And then they just rip your hearts out because a lot of them do not survive the end of the episode.
We don't know that
But,
for sure.
Yeah,
As of
a lot
now, we don't know.
Yeah, but I think it's implied. A lot of them literally disintegrated.
We don't know that for sure.
I mean, I guess not for sure, but it was implied. So let's get into that ending. I think Cable shows up first, right? Before all the shit goes down?
Well, first Jean and what's fake Jean start like mind connecting.
Oh,
Like
yeah.
during the dance. They also have a
this is-
weird ass dance scene that felt strange between Rogue and Magneto, where they once again body Gambit because they just love bodying him at every turn in this
Dude,
show.
Gambit is a cuck. Move on.
I feel bad for Gambit.
I do
Yeah.
too.
But yeah, so Jean and Madeline
I'm so glad
find
Madeline
out-
comes back. She's
Yeah,
way
me
better
too.
than Jean. Jean's a bitch.
yeah, I like Madeline. But we find out that Scott has been having like a psychic rapport with Madeline. Like they've been communicating psychically. And Jean never knew about it. And so kind of implies that Scott still has feelings for Madeline. And I mean, Scott's kind of in like the most horrible situation you
Yeah,
could be in.
I don't know what I would do in his situation. It's so confusing.
It is really confusing.
This is the episode that made me hate Jean, though, because she's like, oh, you actually care about the mother of your child? Let me go cheat on you. You stupid fucking loser.
Yeah, that's true. Like Jean is not very like understanding in the sense that he had a son and a kid with her.
Yeah.
Like
And
it's not
holy
like it's her, but not her.
And he's actually trying, too.
Like,
Yeah,
he
he
just
is
is trying to grieve with like the loss of his kid, and he's not even doing it in a cheating way.
Yeah, and
He's
she's
not
like,
screwing her.
You care about your child? I'm going to go cheat on you.
He's just trying to like probably just needs some emotional support, and she's one of the only other people that could understand what he's going through.
Yeah, exactly.
Jean, terrible this episode. Total
Yeah,
bitch.
and freaking Wolverine has like one of the coldest lines in the show
Dude,
up to this point.
Wolverine
He's
gives the manliest of man responses.
oh my god, that shit was awesome. Jean kisses Wolverine, and he literally, I don't know exactly what he says, so I'm gonna paraphrase, but he says something along the lines of like, "See, now that was a mistake, so we're just gonna forget it and we're gonna move on because
That wasn't Jean.
Yeah,
something
you and
like that.
you and Summers are the poster couple or something like that, and we know that that's how it's got to be, and I'm okay with that. and that's literally the love of his life. Like he's absolutely in love with Jean and would do anything for her, and he's just like self-aware enough to be like, all right, you fucked up.
Yeah, he was basically like, that wasn't you. That was an impulse decision. I'm going to pretend that didn't happen and leave now.
Yeah, basically.
Honestly, bro, she's a hoe. Let her go.
Yeah.
Man, Wolverine, great moment for Wolverine.
Can't
right
put
there.
loyalty on a diamond hoe.
Yeah, just take Madeline instead, like, for real. She seems to be more she is so much better than Jean. She was understanding. She's like, I know it must be confusing, so I'll just leave. So you,
yeah, she just up and left. So this, yeah,
like,
I
even
agree
though
with you. You've convinced me.
Madeline is just a better person, even though she's the same person. Why is Jean such a bitch?
Well, Jean's been through some stuff. She was reborn. She was cloned.
Okay, but so did Madeline.
She turned into it. No, Madeline is younger than Jean technically.
They have the same memories.
Yeah, but in Madeline's mind, she went through that too.
Yeah, Madeline experienced it too.
Yeah, Jean went through she became a cosmic
entity. They even
entity.
said that we don't know whose is what memory.
The only thing we know for sure is they share everything, except Madeline also got exiled from her entire family, father of her child, lost her child, and then got kicked out of the mansion, pretty much, where Jean did not.
Yeah, basically. All right, so let's get back into it. All of that happens, and then the celebration's going on, the fireworks are going off, and
then we get to see good Jean.
Yeah, Madeline's out on a balcony, and Cable shows up. For anybody who didn't know who that baby was that Madeline and Scott had, it was Cable.
I was never going to guess that. I don't know how you thought I knew that.
Well, I knew it was a character that you knew.
I know Cable? A lot of people that exist. That doesn't mean I know their lore.
So Cable brought himself to the future as a baby?
No, we saw Cable leave. We saw the baby leave with
Who
Bishop.
Who did he leave with? Oh, Bishop. Well, it was Bishop that brought him.
Yeah, Bishop took him.
Cable brought himself.
I don't know.
We literally watched Bishop take him at the end of that one episode.
They do look pretty similar with the robotic bodies.
Bishop doesn't have a robotic body.
He doesn't have the eye?
Bishop? No. He doesn't have an eye. What do you mean?
They looked kind of similar.
Bishop has a freaking mullet.
They have the same gear on, though.
Cable literally has a robotic arm.
Look, that's on him, okay? He should have a more distinct look.
I don't look at people's artificial limbs. I just see the person.
Cable has such a distinct look. He's got metal growing out of his face.
I don't judge people by their disabilities.
Yeah.
But yeah, so we get Cable showing up, and he meets with Madeline, and he not for very long. It's like a couple seconds.
I'm sorry, Mommy. And then she goes, it's you. And then she looks in his eyes, and she's like, it's those eyes. And then they should have just shot lasers at her right there.
Yeah, and man, that was a good scene too. And
that's
Cable's
when the
like,
show actually got good after that cringe-ass dance scene where they bodied my boy again.
Yeah. So Cable has that was a great scene right there between Madeline and Cable. And then Cable leaves because he was too late to stop whatever event he came there to stop. And then shit just hits the fan. I've always thought, just
crazy. Slight side thing, that's the fucking stupidest shit ever, how time travelers are late to do things.
I know, right?
Dumb.
They what?
How a time traveler is late.
Yeah, I don't know.
Stupid. Also, though, just so because there was a scene that adds to later on, there's a scene between Rogue and Gambit where he's like, I care about you. And she's like, I can't even touch you, so I hate you. And then she leaves and goes and cheats on him, too. I guess technically they
weren't even together.
They
were never together.
Yeah, but
then,
it's
then doesn't she realize she wants him?
I don't know. All the girls in the show are being hoes right now in this episode.
Then I thought she was talking with Magneto later, and she was like, I actually do want him.
Yeah, when they were dancing, and then they finished dancing, she touched Magneto, and she's like, that was awesome, but nah. I'm going back to Gambit after I already bodied him. Like, I couldn't have done this 5 minutes ago before forcing him to watch something that destroys his heart.
Yeah.
I had to body him one last time before I crawl back to what I can't have.
Yeah, and then I settle with him.
Yeah,
they be hoes in this episode, man.
Hoes be trifling.
Yeah. Which sucks because I actually like Rogue. I didn't like Jean, but I liked Rogue.
Yeah, me too.
Anyways, then Time Guy comes in. Mom, I didn't make it.
Yeah. Forgot what I was saying now.
Bomb.
Oh, yeah.
Or some shit.
So Master Mold shows up, and that's
Terrorism?
when everything goes
That's
crazy.
his
So
name?
yeah, it's the 3-headed sentinel thing.
Oh, okay, yeah. I didn't realize
Yeah.
that was any different than the normal ones. I just thought, hey, look, another one of those robots.
No, he's much bigger and has like a giant death beam. But yeah, Master Mold shows up. He's like the king of the Sentinels, basically. And immediately just like blows up the ballroom and kills a bunch of people like right away. So like there's some side characters that we see that are just dead instantly. Rogue, Gambit, and Magneto are all like scattered and bloodied and beat up from the explosion. And Master Mold basically goes around Genosha and is just killing mutants, just straight up murdering people. And man, it's crazy. There's
It's an absolute slaughter.
Best
yeah, it
fight
is
scene,
completely.
though.
It is an absolute slaughter. And so at one point, there's some characters we know from the Marauders like flying overhead and telling Rogue and Gambit
my
where to
God,
meet.
I forgot
and they
about
just
that.
get absolutely disintegrated. Like they are just disintegrated from existence. So they're dead. Man, there's so much stuff. Nightcrawler saves Rogue and maybe Gambit too.
Nearly
Or maybe
dies.
it's Magneto.
I almost that was the only ones up to that point that I actually cared about. I was like, no, why?
Yeah, when they started killing people, I was like, please don't kill Nightcrawler right now. There's no way. He just got into the show.
But I thought he could have died because he just came into the show. I'm like, they did not just bring him here to die. Like that was
Yeah, that's what I was thinking too. But he actually has some badass moments and some cool teleporting scenes where he's popping in and out and saving people.
Yeah, he
But he
gets
does
injured but not dead.
Yeah, he does get hurt. And so, man, Magneto again has some cold lines
They
in
had to
this.
knock him
He
out
does.
because otherwise he would have just saved everyone in that bubble later.
I want a
Yeah.
Magneto quote book because dude drops some lines.
Yeah, Magneto's got some freaking cold lines in this one again. The man, what is it? It's something like, let's save as many people as we can because we're not gonna wonder later what we could have done or something like that. I didn't deliver it as good, but it was something like that. That was a good one. He has a couple with Rogue too, like telling her to like get up and keep fighting and stuff that are pretty good. But basically, they get cornered again by Master Mold, and Magneto throws himself into the fight, and like he's fighting Master Mold, and he's like kind of holding him off and like doing his best to protect people as they're escaping and getting to like the shelters that they can get to.
Yeah, meanwhile, though, while he's doing that, we get the actual coolest fucking guy. Gambit pops off. I did not realize he was so powerful until this episode because they just are constantly shoving him in the dirt in every other episode. I thought he was just meant to be like, which sucks because I normally like Gambit, but they were just making him seem like a total joke until this episode, and now he's finally redeemed.
Yeah, what scene are you talking about? I can't remember.
When him and Rogue are like running through the streets and he's like on his motorcycle.
The end one or which one?
No, it's before that, and then he goes and saves Leech Boy.
Oh yeah. That is a good one. He does do a lot in that scene, but Gambit's pretty like he's not like all powerful. Like when he's like at the peak of his powers, like he has like some like matter manipulation that he can do, but he can get pretty powerful.
He seems
But he's more. It's more about like his tactical like things that he does, like his smarts. He's really smart with how he uses his powers.
Actually makes it interesting to watch, other than someone who can just hit really hard.
Yeah.
Yeah. Him and Rogue save some of the mutants that are running. Magneto is basically 1v1ing Master Mold and kind of winning. Like he's doing enough to like slow it down. But then some of the Marauders get caught in the crossfire between Magneto and Master Mold, and so Magneto swoops in and saves them. But
Hits him with the almighty push.
Yeah. So he saves them, but he's like cornered now by Master Mold, and he puts up like this final stand that is just so badass where he's got like a force field created of magnetism, I guess. I don't know how to explain it. And he's protecting them from like a full-on blast of like the death beam.
Do you know what this scene reminded me of? Sebastian?
What?
And with Naruto, when he just is
Don't spoil
eating.
anything though. What arc?
And it's actually in Boruto. Like one of the first arcs that happened.
I know what
During
you're
the
talking about.
exam.
Yeah, in the prelims. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Yeah, I know the one.
Remind me of that scene.
You missed a part though that was badass before this. I think it's where they like. I can't remember why this happens, but there's a scene where maybe it's later. Never mind. Keep going. It's later. He puts up his force field.
Yeah, so he's basically taking on like the full-on force of like that Master Mold Death Ray or whatever it is. And Leech is like clinging to his leg, and Magneto like at this point knows like he can't do anything. Like
He should
They're
be like,
probably
someone
not-
wake up Nightcrawler now.
yeah, they're probably not gonna like survive this. And he says something in German, like I think it translated to be to "Don't be afraid, little one" or something like that.
He also pins Rogue to the like pole
It's the
or
same
wall
thing-
or something.
Same thing Magneto said to him the first time they met when he saved him in the sewers.
Yeah, I think it was the same. What I said,
"Don't
"Don't
be
be afraid"
afraid.
or something like that.
Rogue was trying to help, but then he's like, "You can't help," so he just frickin' bodies
Yeah.
her to the wall.
Yeah, and Gambit too. He pins both Gambit and Rogue to like a light pole so that they can't.
Yeah, but
So
then
that
he's
they
an
can't
asshole and leaves them a perfect eyesight to watch this happen.
I know,
Well,
right?
he covers them completely. There just happens to be a little crack that Rogue is able to see through.
He's like, "Watch me die."
And he didn't do that on purpose.
Then they get
But,
freaking annihilated.
Yeah, they just get like disintegrated, and that's the end of Magneto, as far as we know.
I don't believe it.
And then Rogue just goes freaking crazy. She has tears in her eyes, and she's obviously like devastated, and busts out of like the restraints and
She just
flies
flies straight at it.
right at Master Mold. And Gambit gets out, and he's like, "You're being stupid." So he chases her on the motorcycle, charges it with his
That
powers.
was awesome.
That
And
was
flings
such
the
a
motorcycle
clean-
at Rogue and knocks her out of the way of the death
Barely
ray
missed the
right
laser.
at the last second.
That was so
Yeah.
freaking cool. And then he just like basically does a knuckle crack and just starts slaying.
Yeah, and he starts hopping over stuff and going for Master Mold. Man, that was
Then-
crazy.
he gets grabbed, right?
Well, yeah, he's like on the way over there, and then he's like in the air, and he says something too while he's making like his parkour track to it. Damn, what's the fucking line that he says?
Who knows?
Man, it was good too. I remember thinking like, damn, Gambit's a badass.
Then they just go.
Yeah, so he gets stabbed in the side by Master Mold.
Like
And yeah, he gets stabbed in the side by Master Mold, and then basically uses that moment to like kamikaze him. So he supercharges through his blood and through his hand and everything the entire like body of Master Mold, and then he drops like the coldest line. He's like, man, I can't. He says something in French. It's like, "Mon ami, the name's Gambit. Remember it." And then boom, dies and kills Master Mold in the process, or destroys it. It's not like a human. But yeah, and then we fade to black, and I think we get a scene of the X-Men that weren't at Genosha. So like Wolverine, Jean,
There's-
and the others were
Yeah, they're
still New York
finding out about
Cyclops.
Also, an earlier
Beast.
scene where Cyclops flips out on a reporter, which was pretty funny, actually.
That was a good scene too. I forgot about that.
I thought
Man,
that was hilarious.
There's
He's
so many good
stressed. Oh yeah,
There's so many good character moments in that episode.
Yeah, he said something like, "They're like, so what? How do you think humans and mutants are the same?" He's like, "We're nothing the same."
well, yeah, she
Otherwise,
started
we would've
asking him
ki-
about his son.
Yeah, she's like, "Luckily, we're nothing like you. Otherwise, you'd all be dead."
Yeah, he basically says that they could easily wipe out humans if they really wanted to. But
Sure
yeah,
that's
that was
gonna
a
Not backfire.
yeah.
later.
I actually liked that
Fire line.
that whole scene with Cyclops and the reporter. That was a good one.
Meanwhile, his wife's being an absolute bitch.
Yeah, and yeah, then you get like the TV report
Yeah,
of
that
the
was a big
Genosha attack.
impact moment of seeing people see that on the news.
Yeah, Beast's hands in his head, or heads in his hands, crying.
They really pulled a 9/11 right there.
Yeah, that's their equivalent.
Yeah,
That's
pretty
definitely
much.
worse though. There was no giant robot.
Yeah,
in
that's
9/11.
Same impact,
A lot
Same
less
type,
destruction.
but
No, 9/11 was worse since it was real.
Yeah.
and then yeah, so that's
Fair
basically the end of the episode. Gambit is in Rogue's arms, appears to be dead, and Rogue delivers which is now becoming an iconic line in the MCU, the "I can't feel you" line, which Wanda said to Vision when he died. So, yeah, that one hit hard. That was a crazy one. I did not anticipate that at all. I was not expecting both Magneto and Gambit, like two main characters, to
I don't think
be killed
Magneto's
off.
dead, but he'll probably be gone until towards the end. But yeah, I'm pretty sure Gambit's dead.
I think Gambit's going to come back as one of the horsemen of the apocalypse. He'll probably be Death.
That'd
I
be
think
pretty
that's
badass.
that's what was teased in the next episode.
I feel like that would be very in character for him too.
Next episode, boring.
I didn't think it was boring. It wasn't like on that level, but
I
it
like
wasn't boring.
like my least favorite plot point is the Storm stuff, and there was so much of it.
Yeah, but I
That's
think
like
it's almost over.
It makes Storm's journey so much more impactful though. So now when she comes back, it's going to be huge when she comes back, because she's gone through a lot now. She's basically overcome her fears, her insecurities, and she's become more comfortable with everything that she is, like without and with her powers. So she's not so directly tied to what she could do as a mutant.
The kind of way I saw it was she was like, she lost her powers and she goes, "What am I without my powers?" And then it's like she needs to learn if she's a person without her powers, and then she tries to learn. She does learn, gets them back, and she's like, "Oh, thank God, I was nothing without them, anyways." So she learned
Yeah,
nothing.
that's how I pretty much felt it.
I did not see it that way at all. She was able to go through like traumatic event without her powers, and she realized that the reason her powers were gone wasn't necessarily because of that device. It was more because of her insecurity within herself. Like she was blocking her powers herself, not because the machine actually did it.
Maybe I was confused then, but I wasn't a fan.
Damn, I thought that was really good character development.
I don't know. I feel like it happened too quick.
I feel like
For
there's
her.
way
An
too
episode
many.
and a half of it.
I feel like there's too many different stories going on.
Yeah, that also could be part of it.
I don't know.
Especially
We
because
also got-
then they had another story in this episode too.
Oh yeah,
I mean, the storm one is pretty much wrapped. That one's pretty much wrapped.
Yeah. So I mean, like I didn't hate it, but it's my least favorite one.
Yeah. Then they have to do some really heavy lifting with all the Professor X stuff. So
That was
And
just
then-
confusing to me, honestly.
yeah, I figured that would be confusing for everybody, especially if you hadn't seen the
I
old
was
show
pretty
recently.
confused.
Yeah. So I told you in the beginning, Professor X wasn't dead, which a lot of people
Yeah.
knew. He was like mortally injured, and then he was with the Shi'ar, and they healed him. Basically, is what you needed to know about that. I think they kind of hinted
While
at
I
it.
was confused, I liked how it ended. I like how his final decision on the matter was pretty badass.
I agree.
Yeah,
with
we
you.
got some really cool Professor X character stuff, which was nice.
I also
Sometimes
like how
Professor
they
X comes off like super self-centered at times.
I also love how they just like no difficulty bodied Ronan. That was pretty funny with a heel.
Yeah, Ronan is kind of a joke.
But that is arguably the best Guardians movie.
The first one.
Yeah. I just slight side thing. I just love the idea of a fight where the whole premise of the fight is keeping someone from reaching the ground. Like that is so cool.
Yeah, that is a good one.
There's a fight like that in Percy Jackson in the books.
I can't read.
But yeah, so they got a lot of stuff with Professor X. We basically kind of tried to brush through all of that Shi'ar stuff and basically just do whatever they had to do to get him back to Earth.
Yeah,
was
I think
basically the point of that episode.
they did enough to where I was like, I wasn't bored with the Professor X stuff. I was definitely confused, but whenever he was speaking, I was like, he's kind of badass.
Yeah. And I guess you could feel that it was a little bit rushed because it's, if you think about it, it's only half an episode because the other half is the Storm stuff. But so I could kind of feel it being a little bit rushed, like they're kind of flying through stuff pretty quick. But in the end, he does make the decision that he is going to go back to Earth and that he still has more to teach his X-Men.
He gets like a death vision. What is that? I don't understand that.
That was Gambit.
Yeah, but why is he seeing that?
I'm assuming that it's because he has like a psychic link to all of the X-Men, so he's probably getting like some kind of vision from that.
Maybe when he was like all those skeletons and stuff, that was him feeling all those people dying.
That's very possible
because that was happening at the same time.
That's what I thought it was. I just wasn't sure why that was happening.
Yeah,
I figured
think
he was seeing that.
I don't
but
think
I
it
just
did a
wasn't sure
good
why.
job of. I think that the Genosha events were happening like in sync with the Charles stuff.
That's what my thing. That's
I
what
think
I
so
thought.
too. The only thing that confused me, I was like, why is? I guess just because his brain is super brain, so he.
No, yeah, Xavier's an Omega level mutant. Like he's one of the most powerful mutants in the world.
Yeah, so I guess he
Plus,
just has
maybe
super
it was
brain
because
as
so
well.
much death was happening that it sent like a huge psychic wave, so he was able to pick it up.
He could definitely feel that. Yeah, when mutants die like, in large numbers, he is very aware of it. He knows.
So it's just a lore thing that I didn't know. Then I gotcha. I also thought it was funny, but all like kind of cool, like lore wise, how like even these space people are like, "You're from Earth and you're not even a pure Earth. You're a freaking disgusting Earth."
Like
what
an
did they
Earth
call
mutt.
him a descendant of?
I don't know.
They called him a
Terra?
descendant of something.
That's just
Terran?
the planet, though.
No, they called him like they were like, "You're a descendant of this. You're not even a pure Terran."
Was it a deviant?
I don't know.
Who knows?
I missed that. There was probably something important then that I missed.
But it was
oh,
alright.
did they say it was a descendant of Apocalypse? Did they say that?
I think so.
That's definitely what it was.
Yo,
Yeah,
also,
because Apocalypse is the first mutant, and
Just
he's like a genocidal maniac.
just because we're talking about Professor X real quick, we forgot to mention in the Deadpool Wolverine trailer, his clone Sissy.
Oh yeah, Cassandra Nova. I do think that's who that was.
Yeah, that's one I actually know. I remember her. I don't remember what I remember her from, but I didn't know her name, but I did remember that she existed.
Yeah, that's Cassandra Nova. That is an interesting. It looked like she was an antagonist or like somebody running the show on the Void Planet in a way.
Yeah, so pretty cool. But anyways, back to X-Men. Actually, that kind of wraps it up. He goes, well, they're like, let's wipe his mind. And he was thinking about it. But then when they're like, so you have to forget about the X-Men. And he's like, no. Then he's like,
Yeah, he was
actually
unwilling to
sat
do
them
that.
down
then he
and was
literally
like, no.
takes them to school.
He
Yeah.
literally took him to school. Yeah,
Gave them a history on their culture.
yeah, that was crazy. On their own culture. Yeah, that was kind of cold.
And then he goes back where he says he's going to go back. And then it ends.
And then, man, the showrunner said that, what was that, episode 7? I think so. 8 and 9. There's either 9 episodes or 10, but the last 2 or 3, apparently, is what they said. It goes crazy. So like, this was the beginning of the final act, basically. Like this episode set that up. So now Storm's powered back up and freaking ready to go crazy. Professor X is about to show up, and the mutants on Earth are basically in ruin. So the stage is set.
Yeah, and what about Jubilee and that whole story?
Yeah, nobody cares about that. That was filler.
There's gonna be a part 2 though.
Yeah, I take back my Storm comment. I forgot about that. That is the worst side story because that guy is so goddamn annoying with not using his powers.
Yeah,
Sunspot.
Oh my god, I
I
hate
recognize him from Snap.
Yeah, I actually like Jubilee. She's funny, she's cool, but that
I
episode
hate Jubilee.
not good. Did not like the episode.
Anything that Jubilee's in, I just roll my eyes. I'm like, ugh.
I like Jubilee, but I hate that guy.
Yeah,
I
I'm
don't
not
like
a fan.
either of them. Yeah.
It's getting interesting though. It seems like we're about to get to a part where I can be like, "Oh yeah."
Yeah, I'm excited.
Pretty cool. Pretty cool.
Yeah. All right. I think that's basically it for X-Men 97. We will keep you guys updated for that. Another episode will be coming out the day that this podcast drops, so we will keep you updated.
Can't wait to watch that 10 minutes before we record.
All right. I think that's basically it. Unless anybody has anything else that they would like to add,
That's
I
it
think
for
we're
me.
good. All right. We will see everybody next week.
Yeah, keep it salty.